Draw this in your style.
Okay.
God, what a stupid intro. Hey everybody, I'm Snark, and here we create fandom atrocities. And today we've moseyed on over to Sarasa Land in the Mushroom Kingdom, and we're here to play with the world of Mario. Cause that's all I've been thinking about for months. Don't look at the fanfics. I know what my problem is, and I don't need you telling me about how wrong it is for turtle dragons to be kissing plumbers. It's a respectable profession. Get off my case. The plumbers, not whatever the hell I'm doing. Not that that matters, since today we are talking about a certain desert princess and the guy who had the year to himself and then never saw it again. No more years for Luigi.
Oh no.
And I'll mostly be focusing on things like headcanons, because otherwise this is going to be a very silent video. Let's begin with Daisy.
Nice!
The princess of the Sarasa Land Empire. Unlike her cousin Peach, she is not actively ruling as her father is still alive and kicking. She spends most of her time doing relations through public events and takes the place of representation for her father. You know, the boring stuff. It's also why she's readily able to fly off and play sports games with the other kingdoms without everything back home coming to a standstill. Not that it matters much, since Sarasa Land is a multi-governed land made up of many states. But you're not here to listen to me talk about politics, Zarya, you fucking nerds. Instead, how about we talk about biology? Just what is Daisy? Wasn't asking you. Now, I'm of the opinion that the princesses aren't human, Peach and Daisy being literal mushroom people. To quote my lore series from my fics, they have evolved to come to look like this, as their bodies store magic bestowed upon the family through the star's blessing, thus giving them an appearance very similar to humans. Convergent evolution, two species sharing a common ecological niche, end up looking similar through evolutionary circumstances. It is a dimorphism that technically all toads and turfa are able to acquire with the right burst of magic, though such cases outside of the royal family are rare, a current known outside party being Toadette, with use of the power-up crown. Oh? What's a turfa, you ask? That's what Daisy's people are. To continue quoting, turfa, on the other hand, would be more the equivalent of a desert truffle, a cousin fungi to the toads that lives in the harsh deserts of Sarasa Land. They are hardy, stockier in build, and have lost their caps over the generations of living in their homeland. Turfa are drier to the touch, and it has become a common pastime for the people of Sarasa Land to have communal visits and local mud baths to re-moisturize. But that's not all they got going for them. The same magic that makes them look humanoid also gives the princesses powers, as the blessing was on behalf of protecting their people.
Woohoo!
Daisy has super strength, making her able to rough up even the biggest of brutes. Which is based on stuff that actually happened in the games. Cough, cough. Just look at the time she smacked Bowser into next Thursday. Big bad Papa Bowser wasn't gonna get in her way again. Let me tell you. Oh, Wifey just reminded me of something. One more thing to note before we start talking about some of my Luigi headcanons. Mushrooms don't have bones! I don't know why that tidbit in my fic freaks people out. If Princess Peach is a toad, why would she have bones? You gotta realize it's weirder if she did, right? You ever see toad physics in Luigi's mansion when you pick them up by the head and shoot them places? How they flop around? They boneless. Stop acting like I'm the weird one for saying that. I'm not weird. Right, so, Luigi. Let's begin from the top. Isekai from the mystical land of Brooklyn. Luigi is the younger plumber brother. Having grown up on the live-action Mario movie, I'm a fan when there's a greater age gap between the two. I love them being twins in the games, but there's something about Mario's overprotective nature when he's the one that helped raise Luigi. It also feeds into Luigi's feelings of being in Mario's shadow. Oh! He's looked up to his big brother all his life, had him save him from all of his troubles. And yes, to address the elephant in the room in regards to their last names.
It's Mario and Luigi Mario.
It's so stupid! I love it! Luigi has always been a sweetheart, even if a timid one, as his empathy goes to psychic proportions. I like to believe a lot of his childhood fears probably stemmed from seeing ghosts even before coming to the magical world, where there is a literal king of all ghosts. His nature makes him easily reach out to help others despite his fear, and I'm sure that extends to animals as well, which is where Polterpup comes in as the best of both worlds. It's so cute to imagine a baby Ouija constantly helping chicks that fell from their nest and feeding strays around the neighborhood. I bet he still does that even in the Mushroom Kingdom, this time feeding critters from his own garden. He's like a Disney princess, that middle-aged man. Speaking of queens and princesses, let's talk about sexuality.
Oh yeah.
I'm of the opinion that Luigi is a bi-man, with leaning towards being a personality person. He typically will fall head over heels for anyone that just happens to give him attention, but especially if they have traits he admires, such as strength and confidence. Gee, I wonder who that sounds like. Yeah, okay, but we're talking about Daisy this time. Daisy, just like the others, is typically seen as a sassier character, not taking anyone's shit and always speaking her mind. In general, I think Luigi tends to appreciate blunt personalities, as it allows him to know where the other stands. He doesn't have to worry about them simply putting up with him like his anxieties tell him. Daisy wants him around and she'd tell him to shove it if she didn't. No, instead she loves her little green bean and appreciates the fact he's a good listener. Luigi is also the type who doesn't have a busy schedule unlike a good portion of the cast, so he tends to easily be able to drop whatever he's doing to go off on a shopping spree or play some tennis. And if she convinced the plumber to make some of his famous torta della nonna, then that's a bonus. As an aside, since I feel people would ask anyway, I tend to headcanon Daisy as typically aromantic.
Check it out!
Well, technically I see her as specifically aro-ace, but I tend to view most people born from that world as asexual. What with the whole storks and all being there for delivering babies. I think humans, and possibly some animal species like moo-moos, are some of the few that still reproduce. So, yeah. Luigi will probably need to have a whole talk about the birds and the bees with whoever his partner ends up being. Though I imagine in this case, Daisy would be greatly amused by how embarrassed Lou's gonna be as he tries to explain. I'll leave it up to your own discretion on whether or not anything adult-themed ever happens between the two, as I'm just as fine with the idea of Luigi not expecting anything to happen and just cranking one out on his own. Please no. You ever just say something and immediately regret it? 'Cause I do. Okie dokie, we're coming up to the end of the video, so let me start by thanking Pinball for letting me be a part of his redraw challenge. I'll put a link down below for you guys to check out the original, as well as music and other assets I used. If you liked the video, don't forget to click that like button. It helps put me into the algorithm so others can find my videos. And if you'd like to really show some appreciation, feel free to send something through my Ko-fi. No obligation either way, just it always ends up being a nice surprise, and I know I certainly can always do with the help. Some of that green, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Now, a question for you guys before we sign off. What are your favorite Mario ships? I tend to be a multi-shipper in general, so different dynamics strike as having their own appeal. It's why I can go from writing a bunch of Waluigi content to talking about Luigi. Also, all you fuckers out there who keep leaving shit in the Peach/Bowser tags need to cut it out. I go there to see content, not see how you hate heteros or think the pairing is problematic. I'm on to you and I'm ready to send flaming hot potatoes to your mailbox if you keep that crap up. I'll murderize you even! But yes, without further ado, let's see the glamour shots.
Looking for more snark content? Well, you're in luck. You can find me over on Instagram, Tumblr, also here, I guess on DeviantArt, Fur Affinity, Holy shit, I'm in a lot of places. But most importantly, you can click on one of these videos. Yeah, I'm annoying myself too. Goodbye, everybody.